we have got to talk about the, let's just say, debate. Well, it wasn't much of a debate, but the drama that has ensued regarding not Larry, what am I saying, Larry? Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. If you guys don't know who Anton Daniels is, he's a guy I've followed for a while. He makes a lot of content regarding social issues, especially political issues, and he is right leaning. But he does give a fair amount of criticism on both sides of the aisle. And he's what I would, for better or for worse, would just say he's a realist. He's a straight shooter. He will call it how it is. If you guys don't know who Corey Holcomb is, I don't know him too well. I've seen clips about him. I haven't really watched him. He's known, I guess, as a comedian. He's very abrasive and loud and has a very bombastic personality. I don't really think he's too funny. But he is politically, let's just say he's heavy on the left, all right? Which, most black people are left leaning. The reason this blew up is because of the confrontation and because of the personality clash. And I looked at all the clips, and a lot of the clips were taken kind of out of context on both sides. And so I found Anton actually going through from his perspective of what went on, and I want to react to that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go not into this because this is on my chat GPT. We're going to go into this, and I'm just going to play parts of this. I'm not going to play the whole thing because the whole thing is literally 3 hours long. I think he spent maybe like an hour or so into this. I only kind of just got into it and was like, let me do a reaction video to this. So I want to play it. I want to discuss it, and I want to take away from it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's jump into this and see what he has to say.
I would be robbing y'all if I did a regular show, because I already know the whole show y'all gonna be asking me what's going on, what is it, whatever, blah 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 blah. You want to hear it direct from the horse's mouth. So we just gonna talk about this maybe for about an hour, and then I'm gonna get off, and then we're gonna do regular shows on Saturday and Sunday, and for the rest of the week. So Thursday through Sunday is we gonna just straight up stream. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking the weekend off, we just gonna stream, and I'm gonna give y'all.
Hey, let's jump through this. So he's saying he's going to stream.
All right, let me see what we're getting to. Let me see where the conversation first started off.
Who got something to say? Like what you say and what I say, I think it's going to be interesting.
Okay, so this is Corey Holcomb. Okay, this is the host of the 5150 show. All right, and on the left is Anton. All right.
See, I do too. Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, we had a great conversation too. We had time before you got here, so we had a great conversation.
Shout out to Darlene. Let me first say that Darlene is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my entire life. A real sweet, slow motion. Talked to her for a while. Shout out to Darlene. All right. Let me go ahead and go through this a little bit. I'm going to try to speed this up.
You don't need to.
I made sure that she felt good about this.
Yeah, you don't need to butter.
We're still trying to get Shannon Sharp on here so Darlene can have something to do after the show that she'll be proud of.
Oh, brother. Too old, that man.
Greg going out here doing his thing. I'm going to do all politics because that ain't what the show about.
We got to get there, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't want you to miss no points.
Here. Mm-hmm. So I don't see what the problem is.
Well, I tell you like this. I cannot respect men who are claim jackers. Like I don't
like what? Give me an example.
Like the United States.
No, what? Give me an example, like a real life thing. Like what did they take?
The United States.
So
hold on. Before I even say anything, hold on. What are you going to say?
Right away, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm going to be so honest and so real. In the very beginning, when we first started this, I realized that he didn't have the intellectual capacity to have a real conversation.
He said it. I didn't say it. He said it. I don't even know. Like, first off, I think how Cory said that was really passive aggressive. But put that aside. I don't understand what claim jacker even means in this context. A- And then using an entire country as like that, that's wild. That doesn't even make any sense. And to Anton's credit, like, yeah, like when you hear someone say something like that, like if I heard that, I would realize the same thing. Like, okay, we're going to be talking past each other because we are on two different levels of intellect and understanding. And this person that I'm talking to, and here's the thing, when you know more than someone else, you have to condescend down to their level. It's a fact. Like they're not going to be able to rise to your level of understanding. You have to condescend down to them, and you have to lower your intellectual output and how you explain things in a level that they will be able to understand. It's very simple. If you are in college and you're talking to a fourth grader, you can't expect the fourth grader to come to the level of a college student. The college student has to come to the level of a fourth grader. It's very simple, okay? And Anton is simply saying, he's not saying Corey's dumb. He's just saying, oh, I realize this guy doesn't really know what he's talking about. And I'm going to have to work extra hard to communicate with him, which that's wild. That's wild to have that happen like almost out the gate.
This is the honest to God truth. I mean, how do you want me to break this down? Greatest country in the world. You don't know the history of slavery.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Yeah, we won't go. Hold on.
He really don't even know the laws. He don't know about what happened with black people. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know you're benefiting and you're sitting here living on the land that it is that you're talking about. You can't give any real examples.
This is the stuff that I can't stand with people, okay? You sit on the shoulders of your ancestors and giants, of men and women who have come before you and created the greatest country that's ever existed in the history of humanity. And then you want to take a giant crap on it because of some stupid ideology you hold out of ignorance. Like Anton says, you don't know the origin of America and its true history. And even if you did, okay, what did America do that no other that what did America well, let me put this back. What did England do that any other expansionist civilization ever did differently in the entire world? What? Hey, shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you, man. America, like, and this is the argument with the Native Americans too, and we can go into the slavery thing too, and this is the thing that kills me, okay? England, as an expansionist civilization, like all other civilizations ever in history, they conquered people and they took land and they defended borders. That is what humans have been doing since the beginning of time. It doesn't matter what civilization you choose, every civilization has done this. If you can defend it, you can keep it. If you can't defend it, then it's taken from you. That's how it works in the real world. The only reason we can have these conversations now is because we live in the quote unquote civilized modernity, okay? Where we have nuclear weapons and we have all these we have superpowers. But remember, the superpower, America coming out of World War II as the superpower, that never existed. That's the reason why the world went to war, because the world was pretty much equal as powers go. And so when one person thought, well, I can rule the world, aka Hitler, and he almost did, right? It took the combined efforts of multiple powers around the world to go against those other Axis allies, right? It was literally the world split in half, fighting each other, and it could have really gone either way. And so America, honestly rebelling from England, from Mother England, and becoming its own country, and then expanding out, right, and taking land, is doing what humans have always done since the beginning of time. Now, there's losers and there's winners in war. That's just how it is. That's just how the world is. And so saying like There, like the Native Americans, there were people before the Native Americans. There were people before those people. There were people before those people. No one owns anything. You don't own anything unless you can defend it. Unless you can defend it, you don't own it. Period. If someone can take it from you, you don't own it. That is the bottom line. The only reason America is because we have the biggest guns. We have the best equipped, most lethally trained military known to man. That's why we can do whatever we want. That's it. We have better weapons. If we did not, we could not. So I want to park it there because I can go down the tangent with slavery and all that, but I want to get to what he's saying. But people like Cory who just don't know history, who don't really have any kind of intellect in that category, but make these bravado and grandiose statements, these blanket statements, it just exposes how foolish they are.
This was not going to be an intellectual conversation. It just is what it is.
Right.
But this is what I've been telling y'all. These dudes are Neanderthals. The people that we champion in our community are Neanderthals.
Oh, man, preach it. Preach it.
We don't have any heroes.
Right.
We don't have any leaders.
And why not? Why not, black people? Because you don't follow people that tell you the truth, because you don't want the truth. People who want the truth want to change, want to improve. And the truth is hard to hear. And you want to know the truth? Black people's egos are fragile because they know they're faking it. Black people's egos are fragile because the majority of them are faking it. And when you're faking it and people see through it, it exposes you and you're afraid. It's all fear. It's all fear. How do you fix it? Stop faking it. If you're broke, be broke. Work harder, don't be broke. But don't be broke, fake like you're not broke, and then get angry when someone says you're broke. If you're not doing the work, don't act like you're doing the work, and then when someone says, "Hey, you're not doing the work," get mad at the person for calling you out on your BS.
Are they entertaining? Yeah, but they would have been the court gestures back in the day.
Exactly.
So right away, I'm already situationally aware.
Yeah. Yep.
Already situationally aware. But this is another reason why, and I told Cory this on the phone before I even came out here. Cory asked, could I come on the platform? I never asked him. I just reached out based off of the people that was around me. Shout out to Fawcett, shout out to Gooch, shout out to a lot of people. And I'm like, yeah, it's an opportunity to expand my platform 100%. So, why not? Why not take advantage of it? And I wasn't looking to go in there and belittle or embarrass anybody. I was looking to come in and put on a good show. So the one caveat and the one criteria that I said was, I'm only doing it in person from now on. I'm not doing no more, online live stream interviews because I can't have nobody controlling the narrative. I don't want nobody muting my mic. I don't want nobody saying and kicking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I go, I do an interview from now on. It's got to be face to face.
I respect that. I think I've seen a lot of that have been happening is people muting mics, being funny with stuff. I've seen debates. I think I saw one with Andrew Wilson. People just mute the mic. I mean, it's intellectually dishonest, but it's also very weak. It makes you look very weak.
Not doing any more live streams. So I'm over here in Los Angeles in their backyard. But again, the first thing that I realized was I'm talking to a Neanderthal because he don't even have the intellectual capacity to understand it. That's why he only talk about the stuff that he talk about.
Right.
as an African American male.
Because most of the niggas that's complaining about it ain't never even really seen real racism.
All right, we
These is
already know
new
all of that.
niggas.
That ain't the shit that y'all want to get into. Y'all don't care about that because we didn't really talk about anything of substance. I want to get straight to the shit.
I'm not an ass kisser of no. I think you doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
On
You
the
missing
streets,
it.
I've been pulled over by the police.
Who ain't on the streets?
Or the
I'm in
ICE
Detroit.
agents or whatever.
You in LA. I'm in Detroit.
He not even in the city where he came from. I'm not impressed with niggas. And then listen, I'm not telling you that you can't move to where you came from, but what makes y'all think that these niggas got more street cred? Because they dress like this? Because they dress more hood?
Good
because
point.
of the shit that they do on stage?
Good point.
What make a nigga real?
Yep. Good point.
What makes somebody real? Because they say that they real? Because they say they from somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
Or did they stay down in the city that they was allegedly born from and hold it down and continue to add value to it? I'm still in my same city that I was born and raised in. I can move anywhere I want to move in the world. Still in the city, still in the streets, still touchable, still kick it with the people, still walk around very, very comfortable with no security in my own city. All that, I'm from the streets, I represent it. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Like, I don't.
This was the moment that I realized he was a real one. Antoine's a real one. And I think every man can take a note, can take some notes from him on how he responded with this situation, but also what he's saying right now and what he's going to say about, you know, did you pick up and leave when you got success, or did you hold it down where you're from and invest?
I don't have the same respect for these niggas. Listen. Y'all look at them because y'all seen they specials. Y'all look at them because y'all see them on the internet. I'm not impressed with them because I've seen behind the curtain. I've seen behind the curtain. All of these people are not what y'all think that they are. And so when they finally interacting with somebody and you the same way online as you are in person, it bothers them. It's almost like spiritual. It's almost like spiritual.
In the blackest city in the United States of America. I can move anywhere I want to go. I choose to stay in the core of my city, and I choose to participate in my neighborhood. I choose to tithe to the streets. I choose to put kids through college. I choose to interact and truly use my tax dollars and whatever it is and give jobs. I employ over 50 people.
Facts. Nigga, I'm an economy.
I put my money in my community with
That, see, and this is what I'm talking about, man. The Corey Holcomb clapping like that, condescending, passive aggressive, and even look at Darlene's face. Look at Darlene's face, because she knows what's about to happen. She knows what Corey's doing, right? In a disrespectful, taunting way, and it's amazing how Cory wants to talk about race. He's so quick to put down another black man because when the black man is doing all the things right, it makes him insecure because he doesn't do those things. He hasn't done those things. He can't do those things. And so he has to try to equalize, right? Because he can't be looked at. He can't look at himself. And he doesn't want other people to look at him as, well, you know, you're not doing those things. So what does that say about me? What do you think people think about me because I'm not as good as this other person? Because it's constant comparison. It's constant insecurity. It's constant fear. And so he has to try to make fun of it so that he can try to equalize some kind of control. And that is the sad thing about the community is it's always constantly comparing because of the insecurity and fear.
my people.
Listen. They don't want to hear that shit because now it flies in the face of the sellout narrative.
Exactly.
Because it's about what you do, not about all of that talking, not about whether or not you saying the things that mean something. It's about what you do. They don't want to hear that shit. That's nice.
Yep. Exactly.
It's a hate.
Exactly.
It's a hate within their spirit. It's
Exactly.
man, I'm telling you, bro. It's a hate within their spirit. They don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't know if y'all don't understand, black people. Listen, for all of the black people and Americans that's listening to this right now, these niggas don't have y'all best interests at heart. Don't give a fuck about you. Nigga, they monetizing you. And that's why I told that nigga that he was sucking a dick of black people. But we gonna get there too.
So I choose to engage. So when we
Is that what I said? I said when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Is that a lie?
This is so insane.
But you didn't answer it.
talk about liberal white women literally being the biggest enemy of the
talk about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that. We say that. But here's the truth.
I don't have a boss. Listen. Then they try to say your boss because they want to insinuate that you're doing it to stay in the good graces of somebody. Anybody that has ever tapped into this platform, anybody that has ever watched any of my live streams, you know I'm an equal accountability smoke giver. I done went off on the whitest of white people, blackest of black people, outsiders, immigrants, the whole 9 yards. And I have zero people. Owner.
That's why I respect Anton. He does not care. He don't care. He's gonna tell you exactly what he thinks and how he feels. He doesn't care who you are.
No management.
And it's cool because he's a lot kind of like he's in the same position that Asmongold is. Obviously, he's not a white guy, but the point is like Asmon is completely independent. He doesn't need any sponsors. He has his own money. He says whatever he wants because he doesn't have any consequences outside of like not breaking the law. Anton is the same way. He doesn't have any sponsors. He doesn't have managers or anything. He's completely independent, and he doesn't need anyone else. He employs people, like he said. So, that's why you have to respect these kinds of voices that aren't paid to spin a narrative. They create their own because they think with their own head.
No bosses. I don't worry about no sponsorships. I am 100% owned on my own. I have zero financing that
It's exactly what I want to be. I started streaming because I have a lot to say. I have a lot of intellect like Anton, and I felt kind of guilty just hoarding it, but I was just so, my ADHD and stuff like that. Like it's hard for me to be consistent. I didn't have the systems. I didn't have anything like that, and so one day I want to be in that position, where Anton and Asmon is, and be able to do this full time and be able to create my own narratives and to debate people and actually bring some fruit to the internet because it's sorely needed. It needs experts, and I have a ton of knowledge, and so I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be commenting, doing commentary. I'm going to be hopefully doing debates. I'm going to be able to talk. Hopefully, I'm getting on shows. I'm really serious about this, and so I hope to get this out and to push this out and get on YouTube and do all this other stuff because these conversations are needed, and they're not needed with people like Corey Holcomb. They're needed with people like me who know the material, who know the history, who can have the conversations with people and help people to understand and walk through these things critically. Because this stuff, it's serious and it matters. And like Anton said before, like we don't have those leaders and those people in the Black community, and we need them. And I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but I am saying I have the knowledge, I have the understanding, I have the background, I have the intellect to have these conversations, and hopefully we can generate some education and get some people to start thinking through a lot of why they think what they think right now.
I have to worry about. I own all of my properties. I own all of my cars. I own my own portfolio, the whole 9 yards. I can say what I want to say because I don't have to worry about getting fired. I don't have to worry about a sponsor saying we don't fuck with you no more. I say what I want to say. That's the whole point. So you're not talking to somebody that's bought. I ain't never took a dime on a political pact. Every decision that I make, every position that I take, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, is because that's what I really believe. Right or wrong, I really believe it.
It's a reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males?
Okay, so his argument, because this is what I like. I want to talk about the arguments. Okay, I'm not here for the drama. I want to talk about the arguments, and I want to talk through on both sides what's going on here. Corey's first argument is you talk about black males, black people quicker than you talk about white people. Number one, why is that a cogent argument? Why is that an argument? Who cares how quickly he talks about someone? That doesn't make any sense. Who cares if he's quicker to talk to black people than he is white people? Why does that matter? People like Cory are people that avoid accountability. They do not want to be held accountable for the things they do or say. These are the people that try to shift blame, victim blame, point the finger back. They don't want to deal with their own stuff. They want to obfuscate all the time. And I know this because of the language. Why are you so quick to judge blacks but not so quick to judge whites? If Anton wanted to judge only black people, that's his business. And if he was doing that, why not? Replace black with Christian. Replace black with just men in general. You can replace that with anything you want. Like, if you're going to do an internal critique, like he's a man and he's black, maybe he's a father, maybe he's a husband. You could take all those categories that you are and you can do internal critiques, and that could be your niche. If you only wanted to talk to black men and not talk to any other group, you can do that. And you want to critique them and that's what you want to do, you could do that too. But just because he does that doesn't mean that he doesn't have problems with any other category of anything. That's such an ignorant and low brow. And I get why he says Neanderthal. It's just it's low thinking. It's low intellect. It's such a bottom level of thinking, and it's frustrating. I can see why he is
responsible for in this country as the down end. Here's the fact. Have you seen something about Caucasian males and how they... I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are.
Here's the fact. Have you seen something about Caucasian males and how they destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Caucasian males and how they destroy this country. Notice he just made a blanket statement. He didn't justify it. Right? He didn't give any kind of argument to it. He just says it without any kind of evidence. Where is the evidence that white males are destroying the country? You wouldn't have a country if you didn't have the white male. And white, again, these categories are so terrible. White is a color. It's not a race. It's not. It's a color. It's not a race. Just like black is not a race. Black is a color. Right? Africans have multitudes of ethnicities. We're not all the same. Just like white is a color, and all white people are not the same. The Englishmen who started this country were white, yes, but they were English, and they created this country, period. They've contributed more than any other quote-unquote race. Yes, black people, black Africans who were enslaved did a lot of manual labor and farmed and built things. Yes. There's a contribution there. We did bleed in wars, voluntarily and involuntarily. Yes, we did. We contributed both blood and sinew into this country. You cannot take that away from our history, and I would never do that. But to equalize slavery's contribution to the men who actually created its foundational laws, systems of government, courts, the stock market and the income and the monetary system. Like, when you think about the infrastructure of roadways and things like that, all the things that you would necessarily need for a society to run that black people had absolutely zero input on, to say as if the white male is the category that is destroying the country is not only patently false, it's stupid as hell. It's just a dumb, stupid thing to say because it's so unequivocally not true. It's frustrating. It really is.
Let's slow down because you talking loud, but you're not saying a lot.
So the
That's a bar because it's true.
reason that I said let's slow down is because in a conversation, when you move from point to point to point to point to point really fast, I want to go off slavery. I want to go to this. As soon as you start explaining yourself, somebody move on to the next thing. And it's strategic that they do that because it make it seem like you're dodging, but they don't want to deep dive into the conversation. They don't want to really, really get.
Well, they don't want to because they can't. They're not saying anything because they don't have anything to say. They're just repeating things that they've said or they've heard. This is not someone who has thought deeply into these things. This is not someone who has researched. This is not someone who has read. This is not someone with any kind of intellectual capacity to have an in-depth conversation of any subject that he has brought up so far. This is someone who's not even surface level. He is above surface level. He is floating in the air of how high of an overview of understanding he has. You said it from the beginning. You knew this wasn't going to be an intellectual conversation. It's because he doesn't have the capacity for it.
To the point, they don't really want to be exposed on why you believe what you believe. What did the transatlantic slave trade, what really happened during the transatlantic slave trade? How do we get here? Why are we even Democrat? Black people, when I told him, I said, listen, we were never Democrat. We were always Republican and we were always conservative. It was move on to the next word. But why did you talk? Why you always?
Because it would shatter his worldview. And everyone listening on his show would be like, nah. And then they would look it up and they'd be like, oh my gosh, it's true. Yes. Black people were Republicans. The Republican Party was created by Abraham Lincoln out of the Civil War. And it is thoroughly attached to the Emancipation Proclamation and the freeing of slaves. And the white abolitionists who employed Harriet Tubman and the whole entire Underground Network Railroad to free slaves. All of this happened during this time. And when the Civil War ended and Ulysses S. Grant, God bless his soul, was elected president, they were voting Republican. And of course, the Dixie Democrats and all the other Democrats were killing black people and trying to prevent them from voting and threatening if they don't vote Democrat that they're going to die. That's really what happened, guys. And then Martin Luther King, we can get into it too. Martin Luther King sold everyone out to Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson's on record saying, I'm going to make these, N-words vote Democrat for the next 50 years because Martin Luther King made a deal with the devil to get the civil rights movement. All right, rights laws. Like we people just don't want to deal with reality. We don't want to deal. We want to believe the myths. We want to believe the lies because they're convenient, and it doesn't require us to think. But the truth of the matter is, a lie is a lie, and it's just like Cypher saying in the Matrix. Ignorance is bliss, until people start poking on it and it starts hurting your ego, and that's where we have Corey Holcomb.
Why you go? And it's like, okay. Then I started realizing, okay, I see where this is going. Let's slow down. Let's go point by point and let's break this shit down. Because we got all night. I ain't going nowhere. I slotted myself just for this conversation. But this is where we gonna get to it. And let me tell you what the blogs missed. But they do that intentionally.
No, you talking loud,
you talking loud,
and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it.
No,
and that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
Now.
Yep. See, there it is.
They don't add that.
Remember, his first argument was, why do you judge black men quicker than you judge white men? And then he jumps to, like, I want to know why you don't think that white men are responsible for bringing down the country. And now we get to really what Corey has a problem with, which it was obviously layers deep. You kiss white people's ass. Like, I look at this kind of stuff and I think about it to myself, like, how would I react if I was in his position? And you know, you want to say I would act calm, you know, I'd probably laugh, you know, if I got angry, I'd control myself. But you know, in the moment, my bad. In the moment, it's hard to formulate that, but like, now you're telling me I'm kissing white people's ass because I don't talk how you want me to talk? That's just wild.
Part in there. Why don't they add that part in there? Where it start is after he say that. The disrespect was before I ever said anything. When you see this chopped up on platforms, they chop it where I then respond to the energy. They don't chop it where the disrespect started.
Of course not.
They chop it
because they have a narrative.
Oh man, if Anton would, nigga, he started saying disrespectful shit way before I ever even. Yeah. I'm like, okay,
yeah, they have.
I'm gonna return the same energy that you gave it to.
They have a narrative. Yep.
When they start their clips, and when people start to do their narrative, they don't start it at where he said,
"Of course not.
You kissing Caucasian men ass." Is that gay? You telling another man that he kissing a white man's ass? Yeah. Can I take that as gay?
Yeah, 100%.
Would I be justified to be offended at that?
I would be. I wouldn't have responded like you responded to because I'm different.
But I respect it though, because you said it to my face.
Yeah,
I respect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you didn't say it when I was gone, you said it to my face. I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah.
At the very least, you gotta give him that.
Yeah.
You have to give it that he said it to my face.
Yeah.
But that don't mean shit to me. You know why? Because he don't know me in real life.
There it is.
And so I don't take it to mean shit. His words don't resonate with me. Mm-hmm. And so this is another thing that I want y'all to learn, black people. They not smart like that, bro. They not smart. They want you to be a victim. I don't look at myself as a victim. My father taught me that life is 90%, 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it. Why would I get offended? I've never pedestalized this nigga. This nigga don't mean nothing to me. He a content creator, as far as I'm concerned, just like I am. Why? I'm not tripping about it. Okay, cool. So that's where we going? Well, if that's where we going, then we can go all the way to hell with it. You can't control how a nigga respond to you once you disrespect him. You can't say, oh, it's levels to disrespect. Nigga, you disrespected me to my face. But I don't.
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the of black people right now. You doing the easy shit.
What? Oh, now you offended.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Oh, he hurt his feelings. Look at his face. Look at his eyes. His feelings are hurt. I'm sorry.
Now you rolling your eyes and you offended. They never start where the disrespect start. They always go where niggas get offended. And let me tell you another thing about black people. They emotional.
Yeah, that's
They
facts.
emotional. They
Yeah.
can't hold that shit in.
Yep.
They
Yep.
can't control themselves.
Nope.
But where he went wrong,
No self-discipline, man. No self-discipline, you know. And that's what you need. You need the Lord. You need the Holy Spirit. You need the discipline, man.
Is this. And I'm gonna tell you where he went wrong.
What you do? Let me tell you what you do. 'Cause
Nah,
see, ain't
homie,
nobody
let me
gonna
tell you something,
Ain't
homie.
nobody gonna tell you.
I don't
Ain't nobody
suck
gonna
dick.
tell you.
I don't suck
Yeah,
dick.
you do.
So fix
You doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck
You
dick,
doing,
homie.
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you, I don't
Believe me
do
when I
that.
tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna give you the same
Let's
energy
switch
you give me.
seats. Let's
switch
switch
it.
seats.
No.
Let's switch
Switch seats.
I'm with it.
Homie, I don't
We can
do
talk right in front of each
I
other.
don't do no dick sucking
hold on.
shit. I'm a motherfucker.
Listen. This is what I know for sure. One thing is for sure, two things is for certain.
Yeah. Hey. Shout out.
You
Outcast.
can't say I'm jumping off the porch and don't jump.
That's facts.
You can't go to the end of the ledge and don't jump. Nigga, you might as well have left Darlene in the middle of us because you got to do something now.
Right.
You got to do something now. I'm not impressed. Ain't no fear in me. Listen. I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all seen it. Y'all can go back and watch it for yourself. The nigga was shaking like Muhammad Ali at the Olympics, nigga. They were shaking. He was shaking. His hand was like this the whole time. He was shaking like Muhammad Ali at the Olympics. Boy, that nigga was shaking so bad. And some people can make the case and say, well, people get like that when they really mad or when they really nervous and it didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go. You seen it?
Fucking man. I don't do no dick sucking shit, homie.
I don't give a fuck about none
Well,
of
I
this
tell you what. Watch that dick sucking shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do
I said what I said, nigga. I said it to your face twice. Call it what you want. I said nigga, you heard me. It wasn't no mincing words. Don't say, amen, knock the stick off of my shoulder. Nigga, knock it off my shoulder this time. Step over this line. Nigga, we not in high school, nigga. You heard me. What the fuck are you talking about? This ain't elementary school. Hey, knock the stick off my shoulder one more time. Nigga, you heard me twice. You heard me twice. You started the disrespect. I met you with the same energy. I'm in your city, in your studio, with all of your friends all around. Now you got to do something. You got to do something. Or I know who you really are now. All of that shit talking, all of that bossing up on women, all of that talking about niggas in real life and all of that shit, nigga, we not impressed by it.
no dick sucking,
You
homie.
say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either. You think I
Okay,
give a fuck about what you talking
that
about,
gay
nigga?
shit. Oh, you
I don't give a fuck about what you talking
Hey,
about.
homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Don't put
You
no
switch
dick
things
sucking
don't mean
shit.
to me.
Don't put no dick sucking shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit
Say
right
I
now.
suck again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right.
All right, that's
Now,
what I'm saying.
I'm gonna respect you.
Dance
because it's your
around it.
platform.
Dance
No,
around it.
No. I'm a
I don't do no sucking shit.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I flew out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're
We
not
good.
bossing up on me.
Yo,
We good. I did already. I don't do sucking
The phone right down,
Yo.
right now. I'm going out back.
We can put the microphone down right now and go out back. We ain't got to risk our platforms. No. Let's really break this down. We ain't got to risk our platforms. We ain't got.
It is sad. It is sad that, you know, it had to come to this, right? And what we're watching is we're watching two egos, not two gentlemen. We're not watching people that have humility and they want understanding. We have two egos clashing. You know, I do think Cory was trying to punk Anton. I think Cory miscalculated and thought that Anton is probably a square, and you know he's not on my side, so I think he pegged him completely wrong, and I think when his intimidation didn't work, it shook Cory and it made him scared. and he had to back down because he wasn't about that. You know, it kind of reminds me with Eddie Murphy Raw when Eddie's talking about how, you know, you get really loud, and then the guy says, "Come on, come on." And he's like, "I wasn't prepared to fight," right? And I think that's really what happened here in real time. And you know, Cory had to recalculate. He's like, "Well, this is going to go a way I don't want it to go because Cory isn't about that. He's not. He's very bravado. He talks a lot. He talks loud." But at the end of the day, he's not about that. And just like Anton said, if you're going to get all the way, if you're going to jump off the porch, you better jump off the porch. But say it again, do it again, like all of that, that's high school, middle. If you're going to do something, you're a grown ass man. Go do it, right? I personally think, you know, Anton of his caliber should have handled it differently, right? I think that this is all about image, and at the end of the day, like, I think that's the problem in our community is it's all based on image. It's all based on what people see and what people think, and I think that that's what keeps everybody on the bottom. And unfortunately, you know, image and ego. That's pride is the downfall, right? Pride is the downfall. So until we fix that, it ain't gonna change.
Gotta risk it being demonetized. We know how YouTube feel about fighting online. They don't do fights. They don't do none of that shit. They will shut you down immediately. It's a fact. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. We ain't got to do none of the fluff. We ain't got to do it for the internet. We can go out back right now, shoot the fade, and do what we do. Because if this is what you saying that you are, then we can go ahead and do it.
I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth.
got a
You
question
running
for
your mouth.
Anton.
I don't do
You
no
doing this shit for the
shit.
internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want
I'll
to say
show
Anton,
you I ain't doing it for the internet.
if you want to say Anton, listen, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that. I'll respect you, but don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I let that shit ride because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm going to extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how would it
call this nigga out his name?
Nigga, I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get disrespected.
I got a question for bro.
Okay.
Now, his people trying to derail it and trying to calm it down. So shout out to his people.
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We just getting loud. I ain't gonna get loud.
Then don't switch seats.
Don't switch seats, nigga. Like you,
Facts. Yeah. Why you switching seats, bro? Why you switching seats? You jumped off the porch and you weren't about it. You weren't about it. You got checked. Straight up. You got checked. You got checked in
tough.
Why you switching seats?
Don't switch seats like you pressing me.
Facts. Wait. Look at Corey's face. Look at his face.
No, this my show. This
cool.
my show.
That's cool, but I take that shit as a threat.
Okay, well, it is a threat if you calling me sucking. I don't suck, my nigga.
Man, what you talking about?
I don't suck.
I ain't nobody trying to hear that.
If you want to get back to the conversation, because you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're not gonna do shit.
I told you right now, you're not gonna do shit. Look, bro, I don't know what part of the world y'all from, but either you are or you not. You don't need no battery in your back in order to do so. You don't need him, you don't need her, you don't need none of that shit. If you feeling some type of way, you don't need no battery in your back. You don't need somebody to push you over the edge in order to do it. Nigga, either you are or you not. Don't do all of the performative shit. Don't do it for the internet. Don't try to save face because that's the truth.
Me with that sucking
You're
shit
not gonna
again,
do
nigga.
shit. You're not gonna
Come at me with. See, I suck.
All right, so now he put the microphone down, right? He put the microphone down, right? All right, cool.
Again, nigga.
We can go out back right now. It ain't nothing else to talk about. And from my perspective, once you put the microphone down, it ain't nothing else to talk about.
He brings up a fantastic point. I didn't see this part. I'm in awe. He threw the microphone. He didn't place it down. He threw that. He threw it down and said, "Say I said that." He said, "Say I said it again." Like, and I what is he, 12? Say it again. Say it again. He already said it multiple times. You don't need to say it a third, fourth, or fifth time. If you're going to do something, you would have already did it. And now because you threw the mic down and you're in his face saying, "Say it again," Anton's like, "All right, let's go. Let's go in the back. Let's go."
Because you're not trying to talk no more. You don't want to resolve it. You don't want to.
Right. That's a good point. You throw the microphone down means you ain't trying to talk no more. The talking's over. Now we're going to get physical. That's what that communicates. If Cory picks this microphone up again, I will lose all respect for this person.
To be amicable. You don't want to debate. You don't want to do none of that shit. So from my perspective, okay, well, then I guess that's that.
And now, mind you, okay, I gotta say this. I gotta say this. Remember, Corey Holcomb used a figure of speech that was offensive to Anton. He said Cory told Anton that Anton kisses the asses of white men. That's what Cory said. You kiss white men's ass. That's what he said. And then Anton said, "You suck the D of black people." And Cory's entire shtick, his entire anger point, is that another man said that he sucked D. Not even realizing. He just, the fact that it's a figure of speech that was turned back on him, that he used a like kind of response first, is totally missed from this person. And that's why I said earlier in this stream, he is the type of person that lacks accountability. And I will say this, he lacks self-awareness. He didn't even remember that he had called Anton out his name or said any of that because he's so hyper-focused on his own feelings. It's extreme immaturity.
Guess we going up then, right? We could just go ahead and head out back right now. Let's rock out. You put the mic down. Let's go out back right now. Let's do it. We can go out back right now. I'm with it. I bet you won't say that shit. What we still
Oh, his response is, oh, that is, I got to go back. We got to go back. What? I have to go back to this.
all of the performative shit. Don't do it. You put the mic down. Let's go out back right now. Let's do it. We can go out back right now. I'm with it. I bet you won't say that shit. What we still
Oh, he's such a punk. You are such a punk. You're a punk, bro. I couldn't stand you people like you in high school. I could not stand you. Oh, you're such a punk. You're a bully. You're a punk. You're fake. You're weak. You're soft. You're immature. You can't handle a conversation with any kind of intellect. You can't resolve issues with your words. And then when you try to intimidate someone who clearly is not intimidated, you run away because you can't write the checks your mouth, you can't cash the checks your mouth is writing. You're a fool, Cory. You're a fool.
talking about? What are we still talking about? Nigga, let's just go out back and shoot a fair one. This is the second time I invited you to go shoot a fair one. I bet you won't say it. Nigga, we can go out back right now. What is we talking about? Why are we sitting here debating?
And honestly, like, when I'm thinking about this now, AD doing this, he did this like a gentleman. Like he said earlier, he's like, I don't want to mess up nobody's money. I don't want to mess up his people's money. We can go off camera. We can go out back and we can settle this like men. You've insulted me. I've insulted you. You're to a point now that you want to do something about it. Let's go outside like men. Men have been doing this since the beginning of time. Fights, duels to the death, for honor, whatever you want to call it. Wars. That's what wars were fought because of this kinds of stuff. So, I mean, like Anton's saying, like, what are we talking about here? Either as a man, you feel like you need to defend your honor and you feel like you need to handle this a certain way. Let's go do that. Because clearly you don't want to solve it with words. I'm a words guy. Yeah, I work out. I'm big. I can fight. I'm not trying to do that though. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I don't want to have to do that, but I will if I need to. But I'm intellectually equipped to be able to handle situations with my mouth. Pause. With my words. So if you are Corey Holcomb, who can't form sentences, incoherencies, or have any kind of argument to get yourself out of a paper bag, and you put yourself, you, Corey, put yourself literally in this situation because of your own ego and your own pride. It was a simple fix. Hey, man, I didn't mean to say it like that. I resent you saying what you just said. I would appreciate it if you don't say stuff like that and we can just move on. Let's just move on. But no, he can't take an L on camera, right? Because for the internet, like Anton said, everything Anton was saying to this man was true. And he could not take it every single level. And he needs this woman, Darlene, to talk to him and to be like, don't. No, bro. You put yourself in this position. Anton's already off camera, walking out back, expecting you to follow and handle this. And I know Cory calculated. He's like, I'm not doing it because I know I'm going to lose. He knew he was going to lose. If he had any confidence that he was going to win this fight, he would have stepped out back, 100%. But he was about to get his ass whooped by Anton in front of all of his people and Darlene. And then Anton would have ate for months off this.
The optics, all of this. Let's not risk the money, but let's go ahead and get this shit out of our system. And then we're going to come back and we're going to figure it out.
Even his rationale is just so, it's like old school gentlemen, right? Let's go fight. Let's go duel. Let's go, let's go knock each other out. And then afterwards, we'll sort it out and we'll talk about it and we'll go through it and we'll figure it out. No big deal. Let's get it out of our system. And that's the thing about guys, man. Like, sometimes you're enemies and then you fight and you become friends. Sometimes you become best friends. Sometimes you become mortal enemies. It just depends. But most of the time, respect is earned after a fight. And it's just how it is. So it's so funny watching this in real time and hearing his commentary. This is great. This is gold. I'm so happy I'm doing this.
What is we talking about? You put the mic down. You not talking no more.
Yep.
You got Darlene coaching you right now.
Mm-hmm.
We can go back right now. Third time. I'm right there. I'm looking at him right there.
I got money for all this.
I got money for all this.
It's a deflection. It's a deflection. 100% deflection. No one cares about your money. This isn't about money. This is about honor. It's about respect. It's about you trying to boss up on another man and that man checking you and saying, you're not bossing up on me. If you got a problem, we can go out back 1, 2, 3 times. Not only did you not take him up on the offer, you're now deflecting because you're afraid.
I'm richer than you, nigga. I'm not even sure that Cory is rich. What the is we talking about? See, you can't see, and see, we disarm him.
Oh my
because you
God.
can't say,
This is gold.
well, I'm doing it because I don't want to risk nothing. Because I offered you to shoot a fair one in the back, so you don't f up the money, you don't f up your people money, you don't f up the platform, none of that shit. I offered you 3 times.
Yeah.
F the bullshit. You can't say, well, I don't want to get sued. I got more money than you. I'm the one that's the liability.
Then you shouldn't be fighting either.
I'm the one that's the liability.
That's funny.
They can't use the money argument. You can't use the intellectual argument.
No.
I'm in your city.
Yep.
Look, I don't know if y'all understand this. I don't know if y'all really understand.